Hey guys. Truth be told, I really don't know how to start this video. I feel like we need to have a little bit of a discussion before I get into the February budget review and talk about all of the financial success that I've had this month. It feels like a very odd juxtaposition to be talking about financial wins and portfolio growth when you have all this madness going on in the world. And really, the past couple of years have been hard on everybody. It's been a really difficult couple years for everyone. I've had personal life challenges, as well as just being a healthcare worker during this COVID pandemic. So there's that. And now, just when you think you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, we have this Russia-Ukraine conflict going on. And if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, all of the what-if thoughts that go through my head of what could happen kind of has me teetering on a not good mental place. If you've been following the channel for a while, then you know that my boyfriend is Swedish and lives in Sweden. And while, you know, Sweden is not in the middle of conflict right now with everything going on, there's just a lot of fear of the unknown. So my heart goes out to everybody that is involved in this disaster. It feels like the world lately has just been moving from one disaster to the next, and we all just do the best that we can to continue functioning and continue going through life. All of these world problems are out of my control. And honestly, something as simple as doing my budget like I have been for years now is something that I can control. I can control my finances, and it helps to kind of focus my mind on the long-term goal that I have for myself, which is financial independence to retire early. I started this channel years ago with big aspirations of reaching financial independence, getting out of debt, retiring early, and having the freedom to do what I want with my time. So add that with the fact that I have had such huge life changes this month. This has been one of the biggest moments that I have had in my life as far as achieving this long-term goal of financial independence. So I couldn't not do this video. So y'all, take it for what you will. If you're triggered by people discussing financial wins and things during this time of world crisis, feel free to skip this video. Come back to it later if you want to. But putting this video out there, again, it's some sort of feeling of me being able to control something in my life right now. So it's kind of therapeutic for me to just look at the math of everything, tally everything up, take control of what I can control. Helps me feel better. So don't take this video as me bragging as far as how far I've come in the last year financially. The financial wins that I have had really are just a product of me focusing my intent and my decision making towards those financial goals that I have long term. That's it. I have been focusing on my finances for years now, and my long term goal, even though the world is going crazy right now, is not something that I am going to give up lightly. So all of that being said, sorry for the long intro. This is going to be just another extremely long video because this has been a huge month for me budget-wise. We're going to go through my budgets like I always do, line by line. I will also give you an update on where the portfolio is now, since I have had these huge financial changes of me selling my old home and moving here. And I'll give you a little bit of an update as far as some of the changes that have happened around the house since I did my last also long video. And at the end of this video, we will update my financial independence retire early color chart that I have. It's been a while since I've colored in any segments of that chart, but we've got a few that we need to color in today. So with all of that preamble out of the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Rebecca. I am living in North Carolina, working my way towards financial independence to retire early. I've been on YouTube for years talking about my journey to get out of debt and build up a portfolio that will allow me to reach financial independence. So if any of that interests you, you'd like to follow the journey, then click that subscribe button down below. Let's jump into the February 2022 budget review. All right, here we are. We're looking at my Google Sheets February 2022 budget. Y'all can see here starting at the top that I have some of my income sources blocked out for privacy. I don't show individual paychecks on the channel, but I do show totals at the bottom down here. And you can see that this is the biggest amount of money that I have ever had to work with on any budget review on the channel ever. So, this is not a typical month for me. I sold my home in February and moved to this home. If you missed it, I did do a video talking about all of the finances of the home sale and moving, did a little tour of the place that I had before and walked you around this new place a little bit. So if you'd like, check that video out. I will link to it at the end of this one. This video will just purely be about how the budget went for February 2022 and a portfolio balance update for you as well. So starting at the top here, I always do carry over a little bit of a balance from the previous month into the next month. And because I knew that I was going to be selling a home and moving, I wasn't sure exactly how much cash on hand I would need for closing costs and things like that, paying movers. So I saved as much extra money as I could in January to roll into February. That was about $3,900. And I did have some cash sitting in my Fidelity account. I went ahead and transferred that over into my checking as well, just to have it on hand in case that I needed it for something. And y'all can see the biggest line item that I have for income in February 2022 by far is the profits that I made from selling my old house. This is the amount of money that I walked away with from selling my old home, and after paying for the closing costs on this home and my 20% down payment also on this home, I walked away with almost $100,000. I had $96,434.95 worth of profit from selling my old home. The next line items are paychecks and things that I don't want to share on the channel. The line item that I was surprised about this month is I did start a Ko-Fi page. I'm not sure if it's Ko-Fi or Coffee or whatever it is. I call it Ko-Fi because it makes me think of financial independence. But anyway, I put a few of the spreadsheets that I use on this channel on my Ko-Fi page, and they're free. If you guys like this budget spreadsheet, it's on there, for example. I also have my passive income tracking spreadsheet and my net worth tracking spreadsheet. It's all on my Ko-Fi page, and I have them as free downloads. But I did get a few donations from people who downloaded the spreadsheets and liked them, and they sent me a donation through the Ko-Fi page, which was really nice. I got $19.75 there. This is the actual amount that I got from those donations. Ko-Fi does not take a fee whenever you get donations, but I cash out through PayPal, and PayPal does. So anyway, I got an extra almost 20 bucks from offering these spreadsheets to people, and a few people liked them enough that they sent a few bucks my way, so that was nice. Next line item is just the process of selling stuff out of my old house and selling some things out of this house that I did not want that were here when I moved in. So I made $500 there just getting rid of extra stuff. The Fidelity Rewards is the cash back that I earn from using my Fidelity card. My Fidelity card is my main credit card that I use. I put every expense that I can on that card pretty much, and I get 2% back back to go towards my Fidelity account just by using that credit card for my usual monthly expenses, which this month were a lot. So in fact, I'm pretty sure I have earned almost $240 worth of Fidelity Rewards that will be hitting my Fidelity account come March. So that's exciting or terrifying, depending on how you look at it, because getting that much in rewards means that I have spent some money this month. And I certainly did. The last line item here is the Adsense Income. This is what Google pays me from this YouTube channel. You guys just watching the videos and all the ads that pop up. This is what I get paid for running this little YouTube channel. And you have to have a $100 threshold before Google will pay you. And I didn't get paid in January, but I did get to cash out in February here. I got $135.85. So that's also a nice little boost, which means my grand total down here for income for the month was $110,573.63. Holy shit. I can't even really wrap my head around that. It is just such an insanely high number. But let's see what I did with all of this money. Moving down the bills and spending section for the month. Oh my God, look how big it is. It doesn't even fit on the screen. So let's just start at the top and slowly work our way through this. This house payment is the mortgage that I had on my old house. It was only $536 a month. Obviously, I did not pay that this month because the house was sold. So we can actually delete that row, edit, delete, row 15. Duke Energy, this is the power bill from the old home. I did get that bill in. I thought it was going to be a little higher because it was kind of cold, but came in under budget. I budgeted $210 and came in at $141.63. Water bill, again, this is from the old house, budgeted $40, came in pretty close at $41.74. Starlink internet, this is the internet that I had at the old house, and the buyers of that place did want to keep the Starlink for themselves. Can't say I blame them. It is a really good service when the only option that you have is satellite internet. Starlink is the best that you can get. So we just transferred over the Starlink into their name and they're happy with it. I kept it in here just in case I saw some weird charge or something pop up from them, but I didn't, so this is another one that I can actually delete. So from now on, the internet that I will be using here at the new house is from AT&T. It's going to be a little bit cheaper, and honestly, as far as downloads go, it seems to be pretty similar to the Starlink. I have no trouble watching YouTube and things on my TV, but the upload speeds, I think honestly were better with Starlink than what I'm getting with AT&T. But I'm hoping that someday I can get the fiber internet here. Apparently it's on the next street over from me, so maybe someday soon I can get that fiber connection and it'll be a lot faster. But anyway, I created the line item for the February budget, and I really was not sure how much it was gonna be. I just knew that I would see a charge at some point from AT&T for coming and setting everything up. So I stuck it in here, but I didn't know how much to budget for it. Ended up, it was $160.89. I think month to month it is going to be around $65. This extra charge was the install fee and all of that. Next line item is gym. I am a member of Planet Fitness and I have the black card so I can go to any Planet Fitness that I want, and that is $23.06 every month. Unfortunately, there is no Planet Fitness around here. I talked about that in the previous video as well, but whenever that renovation gets started, I think it will be smart to keep my gym membership so I can just go to the gym and shower while they're doing all the renovations of my bathrooms here. So this $23.06 will keep happening until my bathrooms get done. Next, gas for my car. So this $250 that I budgeted for is what I used to budget for when I lived at the old place. And I am already starting to see the benefits of living here, even though I have not lived here for a full month yet. I left the $250 in there as my budgeted target, and I came in under budget at $210.11. Now, I'm glad that it's less, but if you have noticed at all lately, I'm sure you have, gas prices are absolutely skyrocketing from what they were. So I guess I picked a good time to move. I am really enjoying the shorter commute, and I expect that I can actually keep this gas budget every month under $200 as long as gas stays under $4 a gallon around here, but we're getting kind of close where I am. It's up to $3.70 a gallon, so let me know how expensive it is wherever you are. Really, the United States cannot complain about how expensive, quote unquote, our gas is. When I went to Sweden the last time to visit my boyfriend, I actually did do the math to convert it. And y'all, the gas prices for gas over there, once you do the monetary exchange rate and liters to gallons, all of that, I calculated it out, and gas over there was $7.50 a gallon. So when you take on the world perspective of how expensive gas is, the United States has cheap fuel, you guys. Anyway, next line item in the budget, groceries and household, and pretty much miscellaneous. This is everything that I don't feel like separating out into little teeny tiny details of my budget because it makes the budget too complicated. I budget $500 every month here and pretty much go over every single month as well, but life has been in a little bit of an upheaval for me lately, so I expected to go over. I should have just bumped it up for this month, but honestly, I was just like, it's gonna be whatever it's gonna be, and I had no idea how much I would go over, but I did. It ended up landing at $835.99. This was a lot of eating out, a lot of random little household things that I would pick up while I was out getting groceries. Yeah, I just went way over on my groceries and household as per usual. Next thing in the budget, Lowe's. Oh my God, right? This $6,613.97 here that I had budgeted was at the very end of January. I went ahead and went to Lowe's and got some things for the new house, mostly appliances. And I thought mistakenly that that would be it for Lowe's for the move and coming to the new house. But no, I am actually still surrounded by Lowe's receipts behind me. So that's just the way it goes. When you move houses, there are lots of things that pop up that need to happen. Add in all of the things that I want to change around here, all of the renovations and stuff that I'm doing for the house. Yeah, I just kept going back to Lowe's, but the vast majority of this is appliances for the new house, so that's expensive. Total for the month of February that I spent at Lowe's was actually $7,067.65. That is a large amount of money. And this did not go on the Fidelity card. I actually did use my Lowe's card because I get 5% off whenever I use the Lowe's card. Movers, this was well worth the money. I thought mistakenly that it would be around $500 when they told me what their rates were and how long I thought it would take for them to get everything moved over for me. The day of the move, there actually ended up being some issues with me getting into this house, and so my movers ended up waiting for a while, and that was expensive. So in the end, it ended up costing $1,132.50 to have the movers move everything for me, but you know what? It was really well worth even the $1,100. I would definitely use movers again. This is actually the first time in my life that I did use movers whenever I moved, and I have moved several times in my life, especially through my 20s, and always did everything myself with friends and pickup trucks and U-Hauls, but this was worth the money for sure. Next thing, next couple things here actually, courthouse filing and the UPS store. This was just stuff like paperwork that I needed to file with the county and things that I needed to get sent quickly to different lawyers' offices that were handling the closing of my old house and the closing of this house. So $40 at the courthouse filing and $68.41 at the UPS store. Again, kind of same thing with this PDF conversion converter app. I have an app on my phone that allows you to take a picture of a document and it will convert it to a PDF. If you have a multi-page document though, there's a way that you can get around doing that without paying for it, but I just decided to go ahead and pay for it because I had a big long document and I did not want to do individual pages and piece them together. So I paid $10.69 for this PDF converter app and already canceled it, so it won't be charging me a subscription fee every month. Next thing here is Ollie's. Good stuff cheap. I don't know if you have one of these stores near you, but it is a great place to get some rugs that are reasonably priced. So I went to Ollie's to get some new rugs for this house and spent $96.27 there. LabCorp, I had some lab work a month or two ago and got a bill from them, $34.01. Oil change for my car, $90.37. Found a dress that I liked and paid $73.57 for that. I did do some spending on myself this month, I will not lie. With all of this extra money that I had coming in, I wanted to spend a little bit of it too, y'all. I am not perfect, so I did do some spending a little bit this month. Next, Ko-Fi. I sent a donation to someone on Ko-Fi that had followed my page, $12 there. New shoes. My work shoes that I had actually did break, so had to get some new shoes, spent $55.49 there. Asheville Celtic Fest. So this is a Celtic festival, obviously, that I went to actually last weekend. Y'all, I almost did not go, but in the end, I'm very glad that I did go to this thing. It was the first normal feeling thing that I have done during all of this COVID madness in a long time. Yes, I have traveled. I went to Sweden and everything, but you could still feel all of the COVID restrictions and everything. Even when I traveled to Sweden, you know, you had to constantly mask and be conscious of being around people. Places were not open for business, and you know, we had to kind of mold my trip over there around COVID. But this was the first time that I went to this festival where there were so many people, you guys, and I would say maybe 1 in 20 were wearing a mask. I did not wear a mask myself. I really feel like that we are at the end of this pandemic, and this was the first normal feeling thing that I have done in a while, and it was just good for the soul in that respect alone. And I did spend some money while I was there. I bought just stuff that I didn't need, basically, but I loved it, and I spent $343.13 while I was there. Amazon, all of this is house stuff again. $1,169.71. Some of it is the usual stuff that I typically buy on Amazon, like I was getting low on my coffee. I get my whole bean coffee on Amazon, and my whey protein powder, vitamins and things I order on Amazon. So some of it is that, but most of it is house stuff. And I did get a $25 gift card from a viewer for Amazon as a housewarming gift. So thank you out there. I don't know if you want to be named or not, but that was a nice surprise when I checked my email one morning. Very much appreciate that, and definitely did spend it. Flights. This is another thing that I spent on myself, basically. I got a notice from my Scott's Cheap Flights that I am a member of that flights to Sweden were less than $500 round trip. So this was obviously before all of this Ukraine-Russia stuff started happening. But the deal was so good for those flights that I couldn't not book a trip to Sweden. So I went ahead and did book a trip to Sweden for 3 weeks in May, and my ticket was about $460. But while I am gone for those 3 weeks, my mom is actually going to come stay here and take care of Rollo, my dog. So I paid for a flight for her to come stay here for those 3 weeks. The flight for her was only $110, so I mean, it was super cheap. I would spend more than $110 boarding Rollo at a facility for 3 weeks while I'm gone. So it just worked out all around. Mom can come back and take care of the dog while I'm gone. Rollo will be happier not being boarded somewhere, and I can spend 3 whole weeks in Sweden without feeling guilty about boarding Rollo that long. Hopefully I still get to go. Obviously, I am going to keep track of how world events unfold here. But my trip is in May, and I did get some insurance for this trip. So, you know, if I end up having to cancel, then it is what it is. But at least I got a good deal for the time being. I actually paid less for this flight than I did using points from my old Chase Sapphire card from the last time that I went to Sweden. I used my points, so I didn't have any money come out of my own pocket, but the points value for the ticket was $750. So this was a lot better deal. Next line item after that is boarding for Rollo. I did have to board him a little bit this month while we were in the process of moving over here. It just made things a lot easier to have him out of the house for a few days. So that was $116.46. Next couple line items here are just LLC things that I have to do for this business annually, and spent $203 on my annual report. Had to change the address, obviously, and that was $8 more. Here we go, almost to the bottom of the spending section and bills section. The next line item is contractor, and this is what I have paid my contractor so far for all of the work that we have done around the house thus far. $1,300, and I am sure much more to go. Next huge line item after that is IKEA. This is all of the cabinets that I'm getting from IKEA, and it's a lot of money. It's $6,900, and that is a lot of money, but personally, I feel like it is worth it. The cabinets that I have are not in terrible condition, it's true, but these cabinets that I'm getting from IKEA are going to replace all the ones that I have, add some extra cabinets. They're gonna have the soft close drawers and cabinet doors, gonna have under cabinet lighting for my countertops, and also the custom island that I'm making for my kitchen to serve also as a dining area is coming from IKEA as well. So the fact that I am getting everything from IKEA, it's just gonna mean that everything will match, which is important to me because I'm just like that. I need things to match. So I don't regret spending the amount of money that I am spending renovating this place, because if you're gonna spend money on renovating a house, focusing on kitchens and bathrooms is never a bad idea. I really, truly do feel that I will get my money back out of this place and then some when it comes to these renovations that I'm doing when I do sell this place someday down the line. Next after that is this wire transfer fee. That is what Bank of America charged me when they did a wire transfer of all of the profits from the home sale into my account. Next after that, I had to update my license and registration for my car when I moved to update the address. That was $17. Did all of that online. Next after that, I bought a Ledger Nano X because we will see later, but I did put some money into cryptocurrency this month. I had a very small position in crypto. I have upped that a bit, and I did not feel comfortable leaving that much money on the Coinbase brokerage. I wanted to get a cold storage device to hold my crypto there. So I spent $264.74 on a Ledger Nano X, and also a little thing that keeps track of your recovery phrase. And lastly here, the last kind of just selfish money spending that I did this month. I did get myself an Apple Watch and some AirPods finally. I actually haven't used the AirPods yet. I need to figure out how they work, but I got my Apple Watch and I do really like it. I had a Garmin fitness watch before, but this watch face is just so much better than the Garmin layout. I have so much info right at my fingertips. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but underneath the minute hand there, I actually do have my stocks app on my watch. So every time I check the time, I can see whether or not the S&P 500 is up or down for the day. So that's fun. So the totals down here for the bills and spending section, $8,800 is what I had accounted for. I knew in my head that it was going to be more than that, and it definitely was. I actually spent $21,666.85. Oh my God, that's a lot of money. Thankfully, the next section here, my debt section, I only have one non-mortgage debt left, and that is my car. And my payment that I make on my car every month is $500. When 2022 started, I had big aspirations of paying the car off this year, but I did have a caveat with that goal in that if the markets went down this year, I would not focus on paying my car off and instead focus on investing more. So the markets have indeed gone down in the month of February quite a lot. It's been a really volatile month for the market. So for now, I am shelving the idea of paying off my car early. I'm just going to keep making these $500 a month payments until the markets recover. We're back at all-time highs and definitely in a bull market. Then I'll look at that again and see where everything lies. And also, when I was thinking about goals for 2022, I did not realize I would be selling my house. So another thing that will have to be completed are all of these home renovations before I go and start paying on my car aggressively. Basically, I need to keep as much extra cash on hand as I can, just in case things come up during all these renovations, and I'm sure they will. So yeah, for now, minimum payments on the car, $500 a month. Let's check and see where the balance is for the car. Click over to my March budget. So my debt breakdown section that I have at the bottom of every tab on my budget. This is just a more detailed view of where my debts sit, and since I only have the car as far as my non-mortgage debt, the balance as of March 1st is going to be $30,201.88. The reason I am not paying the car off aggressively yet is because this interest rate is so low at 1.98%. My $500 a month payment that I make means that $453.44 went towards the principal of my car balance, and I lost $46.56 to interest. And y'all can see down here too that I do now have the house listed. The mortgage that I have on this house, I bought it for $164,000, but I did do a 20% down payment, which means that the amount I owe for this house is $131,200. My interest rate for this place is a 30-year fixed. It's at 3.88%. Interest rates for mortgages did kind of steadily start going up in January and during February too, actually. So this is what we ended up locking in my interest rate at, 3.88%. So my year-to-date totals here are not very much as far as how much I have paid towards non-mortgage debt, just my car, and it's only the end of February, so $1,000 so far towards debt. $906.19 went towards principal, and I've lost $93.81 to interest so far this year. This is way improved compared to where I started on this journey when I had 7 different non-mortgage debts to work on and almost $90,000 of non-mortgage debt to pay off. So yeah, I've made a lot of progress since I first started this channel. But back to the February budget. Now we will get to my favorite part of the budget. And this is the reason why I like my budget so much. It's because I'm not only tracking my income versus monthly expenses, I am also keeping track of my portfolio every single month and all of the extra money that I put towards the portfolio every month. So with this being such a huge month for me income-wise, and it just so happened to coincide with a market pullback that was fairly significant, I did a lot of investing this month. I know that I do need to hold some money back for all these renovations that I want to do at the house, and I have held some back, but I threw a lot of money at the portfolio this month. So let's take a look at my fire and investing portion of the budget. Holy shit, right? Oh gosh, you guys. Cheers to that, right? This is a beers and budgeting review, if I failed to mention that earlier. I'm having myself some Wild Basin boozy sparkling water. Pretty good. Low carb, keto friendly. All right, so let's break down this section of the budget. Honestly, when I started this month, I was not sure what I was going to put in all of these different accounts. For one, I didn't realize that the market was going to pull back as much as it did. I knew, though, that I would like to transfer at least half of the extra money that I had over to my Fidelity account. My Fidelity taxable account is where I do options trading. So I was going to get this extra almost $100,000 for selling my house. I wanted to immediately transfer over $50,000 of that just to get it out of my checking and not have it sitting there burning a hole in my pocket, so to speak. So I moved it over to the Fidelity account. I was going to let it just sit there in cash, use some of it for options trading. And then we started having a big market pullback. And I know that most of you that watch the channel are not into options, but the type of options that I do, that are my favorite anyway, are selling cash secured puts. And when you have a market pullback and when you have as much volatility as we've had and the volatility index goes up, the VIX, that means that you earn a lot more premium when you trade options. So I got a little bit overzealous with my options trading this month. I do still have most of my positions on, but I did get a little bit scared when I had one TQQQ put at a 35 strike. I put that on before this Russia-Ukraine thing started happening, and when that started, I really didn't know how far down the markets were going to go. None of us did. So that put, I decided to go ahead and close out, and I closed it out for a $112 loss. Everything else I'm just leaving on, and we'll see how things go here. But ultimately, that put may have been fine, and TQQQ may never get down to my 35 strike that I had set. But either way, I just felt better going ahead and closing that one out. I only had it on for 5 days before all the Ukraine-Russia thing started. So yeah, that was my only options lost that I had this month. And as of right now, all the rest of the cash secured puts that I have on, if they all expire worthless, then I have about $4,000 worth of premium cooking. So earning, let's do that math real quick, earning $4,000 off of this $50,000. Let's see what a return that is. %. So yeah, this is why I prefer to do some options trading with my extra money that I just have sitting in cash. You do not get an 8% return from a savings account. But yes, there is some risk involved with options trading, but I'm comfortable with that. As for the rest of my accounts here, I had a feeling that I might go ahead and max out my Roth IRA, and I did end up doing that. I didn't actually budget for it ahead of time, but I did throw $6,000 at my Roth IRA. I didn't do it all at once. I actually bought a little bit in over the month of February. I do need to do just a dedicated portfolio review for you guys, and I will try to get that done because I have made some big changes in my portfolio, really, and I should probably just go over the options plays that I do have on. And yeah, I need to do a dedicated portfolio video. I realize this, but for this video, suffice it to say, I did slowly put in the entire $6,000 over the month of February. My taxable account with M1 Finance, I threw $1,000 at that one this month because things just kept going down. All of this red that we saw in the month of February, I could not ignore it for long, you guys. I had to throw more money at investing. So I did what I had to do. And the Coinbase account, yeah, this is why I decided to get the Ledger Nano X. I had previously thrown about $1,000 at my Coinbase account just to kind of dip into the crypto world, and I decided to increase my position there in crypto. So I sent $11,500 towards my Coinbase account, and all of this extra money went towards Bitcoin and Ethereum. I didn't buy any more of the meme coins. I'm just focusing on Bitcoin and Ethereum and holding for now. But this is a pretty sizable position, so I felt better getting a cold storage wallet to get the crypto off the exchange. And then last but not least here, my 403B, my retirement account at work. I do track that as well. And I also keep track of my employer match. And I ended up sending $430 to my 403B this month, and my employer match $244.20. So grand total down here for the amount of money that went towards my portfolio this month. I cannot believe that it was almost $70,000 for the month. I never would have guessed that it would have been that much money. Even in my head, when I knew that I was going to get about $100,000 from selling my house, I did not think that I was going to put $70,000 of that towards the portfolio, but that is where we sit right now. Now, I will say that some of this $50,000 in my Fidelity account may come back out if I do need it for renovations down the road, but until then, I do have it in the portfolio, and I'm going to try to keep it there if I can. And after all of these renovations and everything are done, I may use a portion of this just to keep as an emergency fund, and I'll invest some portion of it as well. That I will figure out later. So, having thrown almost $70,000 at my portfolio in February, that just sounds so crazy to say. What did that make my savings rate this month? Let's take a look. Another little thing that I love about my budget, I automatically track my savings rate every month. So y'all can see, this is one of the highest savings rates that I have ever had. It is 62.26%. That is amazing. That is a number that I could achieve if I did not have my car debt. So one of these days, I would love to get it that high every single month, but it's going to take a while for me to pay off my car if I do continue to make minimum payments. I do feel like at some point I am going to start aggressively paying it off, but I need a market recovery first, and I need these home renovations to get done first, and then I'll see where everything is at, right? So having thrown so much money at the portfolio this month, my FIRE number goal is $1.2 million, and that means the Am I FI Yet section here. I am 17.08% of the way to my financial independence number today, as of right now, where my portfolio stands. This little number out to the side is just cumulatively, I like to know how much money I've thrown at investing throughout the year. So far in 2022, the total to investing is almost $70,000, which is nice. But yeah. My goal to call myself financially independent is 1.2 million. And if y'all have noticed over here, with a portfolio total of now $204,996.20, I'm 17% of the way towards that number. Y'all, if you've been with me for a while, you may recall that last February 2021, I crossed the six-figure milestone in the portfolio. If you had told me then that by next year this time I will have doubled my portfolio, I would have laughed in your face. I would have said, how? And I know that the circumstances for this month are unique, right? I mean, I had a huge home sale and gains from that. So this is not a pace that will continue throughout the years, but still, just the thought of looking back 1 year ago, realizing that I hit 100,000 in the portfolio last February, and now I'm at almost 205. That's a mind-blowing thing for me, and that's why I had to do the video today, you guys. I have been sharing my budgets and my portfolio progress with you guys for years. This has been one of the most significant months that I have had in the journey, so I couldn't not put this video out there. And again, this is not me bragging at all. This is just me factually presenting the information for you guys. I hope that it does provide you with a little bit of motivation on your own journeys, that even though things are crazy in the world and have been for a while, when you focus your intentions on whatever is important to you, your long-term goals, you can see progress. And even though I did spend so much money this month, And I sent so much money towards the portfolio this month. I did still manage to save back a pretty significant amount here that is going to roll into March. I have almost $20,000 left over that will roll into March. This is money that I'm saving back to use for renovations. And if I'm being honest, I think that I probably got a little overzealous with my investing this month and threw too much towards the portfolio. But if I have to, sorry, dog looking over the laptop camera there. But if I have to, I can get some of this money back out of the Fidelity account to use for renovations if I need to. For the meantime, I'm just going to keep using it for options trading, but some of that may have to come back out for renovations because I have thrown so much into the portfolio already. But for right now, I think having $20,000 held back should be enough to, at the very least, it should cover the new roof and guttering that I need and the fence for the backyard. So the rest of the things we will figure out when I get there. And speaking of the house, that really wraps it up for the budget here. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I've done so far. It's not a lot, but I'll show you guys what I've done so far around the house. And then because the portfolio has now grown so much, we will color in my financial independence retire early color chart after that. Starting in the kitchen here, forgive all of the dishes in the sink, but the dishwasher that came with this house is a new dishwasher, but it's kind of terrible. I hate it. It doesn't clean very well. So I ended up getting a new dishwasher that Lowe's delivered today, and it is sitting in a box over here, along with the microwave that is eventually going to go up over there once I get all the cabinets and everything in from IKEA and we start with the kitchen reno. So yeah, there's some random things sitting around the house. But the main thing I wanted to show you guys was this little experiment that I have over here. I decided, since this window in the house is south facing, it gets a lot of sunlight. Not right now, obviously, since it's dark outside. But I saw this little cute hanging thing on Amazon, and I thought that it would just be really nice to have some herbs there and see how they would do, if they'll grow. And so far so good. They've only been in here for a week, but I've got some chives and oregano, cilantro. My snake plant is just hanging out there so it can get some sunlight. And in this pot, I'm trying to grow some lemon balm from seed. So plus or minus if that will work out, we'll see. And in this pot, I have some green onions in the refrigerator, and I'm planting the root side of them to regrow them as I use them. I heard that you could do that, and it seems to be working so far. So yeah. And outside here, let's just go outside since Rollo is scratching at the door anyway, wanting out. Outside here, in this pot, I have rosemary growing, and in this pot is lavender. So yeah, I've got my little herb gardens set up so far, and I'm excited for that. What do you want? You were scratching at the door. You got food, you got water. I don't know what he wants. And another little thing that I did buy for myself is over here. I got this little floor vacuum thing on Amazon. It's not a Roomba, it's Yeetie. And honestly, so far, you guys, I'm loving this little thing. It's just nice to not feel like I need to vacuum every day because the square footage here is just slightly smaller from my old house. And Rollo mostly hangs out in here in the living room. So all of his hair just accumulates in these two rooms right here. And honestly, I feel like I could vacuum these floors every day. So it's kind of nice to just have this little thing that I can pre-program and it will vacuum for me and keep up his hair out of the floor. And it's not something that I have to do every single day. Another nice thing is that it's so small, it can actually fit underneath the couch. So it's nice that it's getting underneath the couch and the coffee table and the end tables, and it can clean under there. I can't even reach under there with my vacuum, so that's nice. So that's really it so far as the changes that I have made since the last video. Not much, I know, but we'll go ahead and move on to the fire coloring chart because I know this video is going to be super long. So let's go ahead and get that fire chart colored in, and that'll wrap it up for this one. All right, here it is. It's been a while since we've looked at this thing. Every section in this color chart represents $10,000. And once you get to the 100, then you have $1 million in your portfolio. My goal obviously is 1.2 million, but still, I thought this color chart was cool enough that I was gonna use it. And I started using it in 2020. So my portfolio then was sitting at 70,000. And y'all can see here, I write down the dates whenever I reach certain milestones. And February 5th of 21 is when I reached that $100,000 milestone. So yeah, here we are today, February 2022, and we're going to color all the way up to the $200,000 mark. That is insane, coloring in multiple sections of this color chart at once. There we have it. That is crazy. And we have to write down the date. I actually closed on my home on February 7th. So February 7th, 2022, we made it all the way up to $200,000. All right, there we go. How many sections was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crazy. I don't know that I'll ever have another $50,000 move so quickly. That just seems crazy to think about. All right, guys, if you have stuck with me through another long video, then I appreciate you watching all the way through to the end. It has been a really good month financially and a really terrible month in other ways. And the whole point of me starting this YouTube channel was to show my journey to financial independence and to hold myself accountable on that journey. So the thought crossed my mind of just skipping the month altogether, but knowing that I had some huge numbers this month, I knew that I just couldn't do that. And if I start skipping months, then that kind of defeats the purpose of being consistent on the channel. So I had to put this video out there. Again, I appreciate you watching, and if you'd like to follow me on the fire journey, then click the subscribe button down below. I do these budget reviews every single month with you guys. I'm going to keep hoping that times are gonna get better, and to min pojkvän I Sverige, jag älskar dig. Stay safe. See y'all in the next one. Bye.